This is a Tesla Model Y, and in this video I'm just going to explain why I'm fitting PPF over the headlights. So PPF is paint protection film, and I've got some offcuts here, and it's a clear sticky vinyl and it's quite thick, and the idea is it stops stone chips. So why am I putting it on the headlights? I've already done the sides of the car down there because that is prone to stone chips, and I do plan to do the front bumper. I've got a pre-cut piece to do all the front bumper, but it's too cold to do that at the moment. I'm going to wait until the weather warms up. But I've decided to buy these pieces for the headlight or headlights, and these are the pre-cut pieces. They're only £20 for the pair, so £10 a headlight. So online I've seen now 3 examples where people with Tesla Model 3s or Model Ys have got a stone chip on the plastic headlight lens, usually somewhere sort of down in the corner, and then if left, water gets in there and then eventually the headlight fails. That's no different to any other car, of course, but the issue with the Teslas is if that is left, it then bricks the car, and you'll get errors up on the screen for a few days. Well, this is what these other owners have found, and then if you haven't replaced that headlight, the car will then not start. It throws complete wobbly. So for £10 per headlight, I thought I'd stick the paint protection film on, because if a stone hits the headlight, it's less likely to crack, and the film should stop that headlight lens from cracking, and should hopefully save me a lot of money. So really the point of this video is just to say, if you've got a Model 3 or Model Y, have a go and do it yourself. For what this costs, it's worth trying. It's not the easiest thing to fit. Again, I'm in the cold weather here, so it's a lot more difficult in cold weather because plastic tends to get a little bit hard and it isn't very pliable, so it's much better to do this in the sun. But it's a relatively easy job to do. What you really need is just a bit of patience. So the only tools you need for the job is a squeegee, so either a rubber soft squeegee like this or a hard plastic squeegee like this, and this one is a felt covered one, which you do want felt on it. So I think the felt one is probably better, but I'm actually using both in this case, but these are only a couple of quid each on Amazon or AliExpress. And then you need some water in a spray bottle. For the slip solution, I'm just putting a few drops of baby shampoo in there, and that makes a soapy solution that you can spray on the headlight first to then get the PPF in place, and then you squeegee that soapy water out. And then I've got a second bottle which is the tack solution, and this is just warm water with a little bit of alcohol in, but that's only because I've got the alcohol. You could just use warm water, and to be honest, you probably can get away without even using the soap in the slip solution. So a bottle of just warm water will probably do the whole job, because you're not having to sort of move the PPF around much when you're doing just a small shape like the headlight here. You'll also need a hairdryer or hot air gun. I've got a cordless hot air gun in my case, because you do need to soften that PPF to make that fold around these bends, because when you lay that on and stick it down here and start manipulating it around, you do end up with some big old humps in it, because it's got to go round this sharp corner, as it were. And that's where I said you need patience, because trying to smooth out those bumps and get this all in the right place does take a bit of patience. And doesn't help that I'm doing it in the winter and it's cold, but it does eventually go down with a bit of gentle warming with the hot air gun. Keep stretching it, and eventually that has formed around this shape. And it's the first time I've done one of these, and I don't think it's a bad job. There's a bit of discoloration there. I've possibly got a bit too much soap in that bit, I'm not sure. But anyway, all the edges are stuck down now. I did struggle a little bit here and did end up with a crease, but I managed to push that out. But yeah, all feels smooth, and I think that one has worked well. So I now have got to do this side, and as you can see I've got an infrared heater here warming up the headlight because it is very cold today, and I am struggling because this is getting rather stiff. So hopefully that will help putting it down onto a warmer headlight, and will make that PPF a little bit more pliable so I can bend it around this shape here. So let's see if I can do this one on camera. So that's a bit of soapy water sprayed on there, and then you've got to work out which way round the film goes, because the pattern of the film there doesn't look an awful lot like the headlight, because that's got to be moulded round, and of course it will change shape a little bit as that's moulded round. But anyway, took a little while to work out which side is which first time. So roughly get that in the right place at the bottom, and then lay that roughly down, and then this is where you can use your squeegee, and you just gently get that in the right sort of place. Actually, already I can tell this plastic is much softer because this headlight is a lot warmer than the other one. Let me just turn down that heater. So it's just a case of squeegeeing the water out. And these felt ones are a lot softer and less likely to snag the PPF than the rubber ones. But it's when you're doing this up here, this is where it gets tricky. So you have to just slowly mould that one up and stretch it, and it does take quite a lot. But wow, this is a lot easier this time because the headlight was warm. Much easier. This is a lot more pliable. But I'm having to stretch this up this way by, I don't know, 8mm, something like that. It needs quite a lot of stretching. But once all of that water is squeegeed out, that will then stick. And I haven't bothered with the tack solution on this one. I suppose I should do really, but it works okay. As long as you get it out, it will stick. So I've got a lump there, a raised bit forming, but when I was doing the other one I had 3 or 4 really big ones, which took a lot of manipulation to get them to come out and stick. So I found the best way is just to sort of hold it, stretch it, squeegee it out, and then just hold it for a minute. And if you do that, it will then stick. And I was using tack solution on the other side, even though I'm not on this side. But this one is going on so much better because the headlight was warm. Well, warmer. I did warm up the other one, but obviously wasn't enough. This one's had a lot more heat on it. Actually, that's gone down. The other one took me over half an hour. That's actually pretty good. So I am going to have to work on the edges a bit more. I need to put my glasses on for that. But actually, there we go. That's a good example how easy PPF can be. So for the price of these PPF bits, I would say buy them and have a go yourself. I'll put a link in the video description below where I bought these from in the UK. You can buy them from China as well on AliExpress, but they were the same price from buying them from a UK firm, so you might as well support a UK business. And they came within about 3 days. So these were £20 50p delivered for a pair of these PPF pre-cut pieces for a Tesla Model Y or Model 3. So there we go. My recommendation is have a go. You don't need any experience. I've got no experience of fitting PPF. You don't need to be particularly practical. There's no point paying someone else to fit these. All you got to do is get a squeegee for a few quid, buy the bits, they're pre-cut, and you could just do it with water. Obviously you need to clean your headlight first. You don't want any dust or dirt trapped under the film. But yeah, the other thing is it does get better over time. So at the moment, again, I've got some marks under there. I assume that's the soap, and eventually as that dries, those should go, I hope. So I can turn that off now, and I'll just work those edges down to make sure they're stuck down really well, so any dirt and water doesn't sort of get in the edge and start discolouring it. So that will do for this video. If you found it useful, as always, please do click the thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel, ask any questions in the comments below, and I'll put the links to where I bought these in the video description below. Okie doke, I'll see you on the next video.